Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. Pacific Solar and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Tonight on your primetime news, the Simon Sanchez High School community has expressed frustration with continued delays to build a new campus.
Plus, the Secretary of the Army is on Guam. Isa Baza has more on his mission.
And Crystal Paco sits down with Archbishop Savio Hontai for the latest with the Redemptorist Mater Seminary and unity in the church. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy day and good evening. Well, a presentation that was given by the organization that wants to rebuild the home of the Sharks into a campus they can be proud of was an optimistic glimpse of the future of Simon Sanchez High School. Unfortunately, the reality is a multi-million-dollar request for proposal to renovate the island's public schools hangs in the balance, frustrating the community up in Jigo that are tired of all the delays.
Representatives from the Guam Education Facilities Foundation met with the Simon Sanchez High School community to present their plan for the dilapidated Jigo campus, a prerequisite to obtain a USDA loan.
One of the requirements is that we come to the community which is being affected and explain what we're doing.
What we're about is bringing in a 21st century school.
A school Sean Neeser says will be safe, modern, have standardized classrooms, a kitchen facility. GAF will also be in charge of maintenance of air conditioners for the life of the school and will be responsible for yard work. GAF officials, however, were careful not to cross the line because of the ongoing appeals filed by Cortec International with the OPA. 2 protests were already denied by the Department of Public Works, which called them without merit and frivolous.
All they want to do is have the bid thrown out so it can be bid again so they can have a second bite of the apple. I don't think that's right for us. And so we're going to fight that all the way.
The protests and delays are testing the patience of parents, teachers, and Jigo Mayor Rudy Matsanani.
So I don't know where Cortec is coming from about holding this process up, but you know, they better start thinking and using their brains, because this is not about money. This is about the kids.
Amy Beneventi was one of the dozens of frustrated parents that attended the meeting. Her child is in the 11th grade.
Terrible sights. The rooms are leaking, the hallways are leaking. Some days there's no aircon. I think my kinder that's going to start will be going to that school, and that's probably when it's going to be built with all these protests.
Caroline Ariola Matsumiya has been teaching at Simon Sanchez High for the last 8 years and says they deserve to be treated with dignity.
We're put in a situation where not everything is suitable for any of us, not just the students. You know, we're all humans and we all deserve things that are appropriate and productive and safe and reliable, and we don't have that. Hopefully the project will get on its way and we will get all of those things that we have been lacking.
But with the protest filed by Cortec, when that will happen remains to be seen. Senator Tom Atta, who also attended the meeting, was encouraged to hear that although everything has come to a halt, GAF is at least moving forward with securing financing so that when a decision is handed down by the OPA, GAF will be ready to go.
I encourage you to do that.
Mayor Matsanani, for the time being, is hoping to meet with the OPA and move the project forward.
If I don't like what the auditor says, I'm going to have to protest again and again and again, because I'm not going to stop.
We should note Simon Sanchez High School is not the only campus on the list for repairs. Also included in the $100 million RFP, 35 other public schools. The hearing before the OPA is scheduled for August 22nd. Meanwhile, with 3 weeks until the start of the new school year, portions of Simon Sanchez High School remain closed following a public health ungraded inspection this afternoon. Although a final report is yet to be completed, preliminary results of today's inspection show 3 of 5 citations have been corrected. Principal Carla Massanayan said this leaves 2 areas in need of additional follow-up.
That's 3/4 of the way done is our gym ceiling, so that might still be something that we need to continue with. For the main building, if you've noticed, half of the building, the lower half has been completed, the top half hasn't. So again, it's going to depend on what they'll see as something that would mitigate the exterior building.
Assistant Principal Melvin Finotnia said the biggest issue delaying the completion of the school exterior is a lack of proper equipment to reach the upper half of the building. He's asking local businesses and residents for their support by donating equipment, time, or paint. To learn how you can help, call 653-2313.
Another $1 million in tax refunds was sent in the mail today, as Revenue Tax Deputy Director Maria Benito says the $1 million payout accounts for just short of 250 checks for a majority of refunds filed up to February 10th and more than a handful for prior years. This is the 4th week in a row that refunds have been paid out, only covering one date for the current tax year, again, February 10th. During an oversight hearing last week, DOA officials noted a larger bulk of the refunds would be paid out sometime in September.
He's the man at the head of the United States Army, answering only to the Secretary of Defense and the President. And he's here in Guam to meet with local soldiers and see Guam's missile defense system firsthand. Issa Baza has more.
He's the first person to take the helm of the U.S. Army after having served as a senior executive in all 3 military branches. And after being confirmed in May, Secretary of the Army Eric Fanning is in Guam as part of his first tour through the Asia-Pacific region.
There was no question in this job. There was no question I would come to Guam, not just because of its strategic importance, because of the incredible commitment of the people of Guam to the military, but also to show the importance of the Army in this region.
Although Guam is typically thought of as an air or naval stronghold, Fanning said the rebalance to the Pacific means Guam will continue to play a critical role for the U.S. Army.
Guam will remain a very important part of the ballistic missile defense plan with the THAAD battery here. I don't see that changing, both in terms of protecting Guam, protecting the assets on Guam, but also this region. It's just very well located for that and an important part of our long-term strategy.
Fanning said regional activity, particularly talks of putting an additional THAAD battery in South Korea, will not affect the stationing of a THAAD battery in Guam. During his visit, Fanning made time to meet with local soldiers.
I think the biggest concern that I hear from guardsmen in all the states, all the territories, is are we going to still be operational as we draw down forces in Iraq and Afghanistan? And are we going to have the training that we need to stay operational? And what I tell them is we can't fight. The Army can't do what it's asked to do if we don't fight as a total force, the active component, the reserve component, the guard component.
Some of his priorities include using technology as a competitive edge over U.S. adversaries, ensuring soldiers have access to the best equipment available, and prioritizing the behavioral health of Army personnel. Fanning is also the first openly gay individual to serve as the Secretary of the Army. As the head of personnel issues, he said efforts to revolutionize policies relative to women and transgender individuals will only strengthen the Army's readiness overall.
In 2 important ways. One is it gives us a wider pool of people to recruit from. I want the best of the largest population that I can to build the best Army that I can. And then the second is, as the world grows more complex, technology spreads more quickly, I want as many different perspectives, backgrounds, and thought processes as possible on the set of problems that we're facing.
Adjutant General Roderick Leon Guerrero shared these sentiments.
Now that we're allowed to put females in infantry positions, we have females who want to go in infantry positions, and I see on the Guam Army National Guard a growth.
Fanning is in Guam until Saturday when he leaves on the next leg of his trip to Malaysia. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Issa Baza.
In other news, Archbishop Savio Huntay-Fai has been on job as Guam's interim archbishop for over a month. While he's expected to make right the wrongs of the previous church administration, the island's latest apostolic administrator says he has plenty of work ahead of him. In an interview with our Crystal Paco, he detailed some of the biggest issues. Here's more from the Chancery.
It's a multi-million-dollar question. Who owns the Redemptorist Mater Seminary? According to Vatican-appointed apostolic administrator Archbishop Savio Huntay-Fai, the adjoining property is owned by the Archdiocese of Agana.
The Archdiocese of Agana owns that property, no doubt of it. And then there's a certain ambiguity. Who has the right to use it? And on this matter, I'm going to have a review of it.
Han isn't new to Guam. He was here on island last year with Reverend Father Thaddeus Nowak and Archbishop Martin Krebs. Back then, he observed issues with communication at the Archdiocese of Agana, an issue he says still needs to be worked on today.
We recognize certain difficulties in this archdiocese in terms of communications, whether within the church or the church with the society.
Han's appointment as Guam's interim archbishop follows allegations of molestation against Archbishop Anthony Abron, who has since been placed on leave. Han tells KUAM he continues to reach out to the alleged victims. He also clarifies he wasn't aware he was in the presence of one of the alleged victims, who was picketing outside the Hagåtña Cathedral moments before Sunday morning Mass.
Unfortunately, that time I did not notice the presence of Mr. Walter Denton, so I did not ignore him, and I'm sorry if if just by chance I could not recognize him or I did not realize that he is there. This fact creates certain pain to him. I'm sorry for that.
Earlier this week, Han held a press conference to retract previous statements calling Abron's alleged victims liars who were out to oust Abron and destroy the Catholic Church. Instead, Han offered an opposite message, that the church would take all allegations seriously and have revised church policy in the event the archbishop stands as the accused. According to the $2 million libel and slander suit against the archdiocese and Abron, plaintiffs allege such statements were prepared and released by Father Egivaldo Oliveras. According to Han, there's no proof Father Egivaldo was ever appointed the church's official spokesperson.
There is no actual documentation saying that Egivaldo was an official spokesperson of the archdiocese.
No.
Han confirms he's met with representatives from the Concerned Catholics of Guam, as well as members of the Neo-Catechumenal Way, and hopes to continue meetings in order to address their concerns and complete his mission of restoring unity to Guam's church.
Unity is not something you just click and then you get it, because unfortunately, as I said, many people were wounded. So without being healing or reconciliation, you simply say unity, it will not help at all. And it takes time to heal the wounds. When the wounds are lessened, and when we all learn some lessons, then we know how precious the unity.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
All right, everyone, we are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, it is official. Hillary Clinton will represent the Democrats in the race for the White House.
And it's a first for a Guam firefighter to achieve such a status. We'll tell you about that coming up.
Stay connected to the world at home from everywhere you are. Get the KUAM News app for the latest in local news, videos, sports, streaming, Isla 63 AM, weather, and more. Available for free now at the iTunes App Store or Google Play.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens,
it's a beautiful day.
We rely on the people we trust,
It's a beautiful,
who we can always count on,
beautiful day.
and the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Some leaders are born. These leaders were educated.
Register your future leader today at Mount Carmel School and set the path now.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D, life in motion.
In the market for a new or used car? Triple J says yes. Triple J Auto Group has the largest selection of brands on Guam. See for yourself at our newly enhanced website, triplejguam.com. We make it easy. First-time buyers welcome. Zero down. Trade-ins welcome. Get pre-approved instantly. Triple J says yes. Even get an instant trade-in offer all online. It's simple, safe, and secure. Plus, you can get a real-time view of the car of your dreams all at the touch of a finger. Why leave home when we can bring our dealerships to you? Triple J says yes at triplejguam.com. Triple J, customers first.
Follow KUAM News on Twitter or become a fan on Facebook to get all your daily headlines from Guam's News Network.
Big news from the city of brotherly love today as Hillary Clinton has officially accepted the Democratic nomination for president. She is the first woman ever to be nominated by a major political party. And in the biggest speech of her political life, she laid out her plans for the country.
Weijia Zhang has the latest from the convention floor.
Hillary Clinton made history in Philadelphia.
I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
She's the first woman to accept a major party's nomination for president.
I will be a president for Democrats, Republicans, independents, for the struggling, the striving, the successful, for all those who vote for me and for those who don't.
Clinton drew a contrast with her Republican rival, Donald Trump.
He's offering empty promises. And what are we offering? A bold agenda to improve the lives of people across our country.
Chelsea Clinton, who could become the first daughter for a second time, introduced her mother.
That feeling of being valued and loved, that's what my mom wants for every child.
The Democrats touted this convention as the most diverse and emphasized inclusiveness. The father of an American Muslim army captain who was killed in Afghanistan brought the room to its feet with this question to Trump.
Have you even read the United States Constitution? I will gladly lend you my copy.
Clinton and running mate Tim Kaine have about 100 days to convince voters that they are the ticket that will make America stronger. Weijia Zhang, Guam's News Network.
Back in our part of the world, the fiscal year 2017 budget hearings are close to being completed today, and the Bureau of Budget and Management Research presented its budget request to lawmakers. Agency Chief Joey Calvo says BBMR's 11% increase reflects the need to hire additional personnel.
With the current financial condition the government is in, and no one knows it better than your department, is it responsible?
I think it's a good investment. You know, I mean, 2-3 positions or 4 positions to provide assistance in our financial involvement in the government would be a good investment.
Calvo says the expanded headcount will help with the execution of the executive budget process. BBMR's request for the next fiscal period.
He's the first and only firefighter in Guam to achieve the title of Executive Fire Officer. And today, Acting Governor Ray Tenorio recognized Assistant Fire Chief Joey Matabusin for completing the Executive Fire Officer program offered by the U.S. Fire Administration. Matabusin thanked his family and team at the Fire Prevention Bureau of GFD.
It's not just a certificate and a certification. It's totally relevant to what we do in the fire service. You take a project and you go out there and you make it relevant to what you do. So that's what we've been doing for the past 4 years. And it basically is like a jump start. We continue to do even more amazing things. And I can't do it without our team.
Fire Chief Joey Sinicklo says this is the highest title a fire officer can achieve from the National Fire Academy. Matabusin completed the 4-year program earlier this year, which has a 60% fail rate.
And congratulations, Joey. He's good people. Well, while 2 people have already been arrested in connection to that attack on a police officer at Hemlani's Harmon Apartments last month, 2 other people were recognized instead for their assistance on June the 21st. Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio and GPD Chief Joseph Cruz presented Enki John with the Governor's Humanitarian Award for coming to the aid and defense of the cop last month.
Heroism. You know, it comes down to people of good character to stand up to defend one's fellow man or woman for that matter. If you're under attack, any one of these men, any person in blue with a patch on his shoulder and a badge on their chest will come and support you and defend you. But this time it was the other way around, where you came to support and defend them. And that's a very honorable, heroic thing for you to do. That shows valor and integrity, and we appreciate that.
Ms. John, along with Lieutenant Kiana, was also presented with the award for helping the officer that was being attacked and for helping the Guam police with their investigation into the case.
It's no surprise that Guam continues to receive record-breaking visitor arrivals, and a lot that can be attributed to the hospitality from the thousands of employees who are part of Guam's #1 industry. Ken Quintanilla has more on our island's hospitality heroes.
She's been working for the Outrigger Guam Beach Resort for more than a decade, and today she's being recognized for excellence in service to Guam's tourism industry.
It's definitely an honor in what we do every day as far as my work.
Desiree Iglesias is a guest service manager who was recently promoted to front office manager. She's also one of 52 nominees for the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association and Guam Visitors Bureau Annual Hero Awards.
Being in this position of not only promoting my hotel, but promoting the beautiful island of Guam has been a pleasure. And for all our visiting tourists, also our patrons, even our local guests who come into the hotel to be a part of that and to showcase that in the hotel daily, it's been definitely honored to be here.
From hotels to retail establishments to optional tours to even transportation, GHRA President Mary Rhodes says today's nominees only represent some of the nearly 20,000 employees who are part of Guam's #1 industry.
And in that service, we want to ensure that with those employees who constantly provide the great hospitality and the warmth that Guam is always known for through its holiday spirit, it's important that we do that through recognitions such as today.
She says about 60% of Guam's gross domestic product actually comes from the tourism industry. Meanwhile, in the last fiscal year, Guam welcomed 1.3 million visitors and most recently experienced its highest number ever for arrivals for the month of June. GVB Deputy General Manager Telo Taidagui says the high rate of return arrivals can be attributed to our hospitality heroes.
And I hope that what they've done today will be in a reflection on other employees or future generation who come up into the hospitality industry to be a part of this great family and keeping Guam #1 in the Pacific.
The Hero Award categories include the Holiday Spirit, Rookie of the Year, Middle Management, Supervisory, Non-Supervisory, Life-Saving, and Integrity. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.
You can view the complete list of nominees and winners on our website.
And also today, thousands of our fellow Guamanians said a tearful goodbye to a proud Chamorro, successful entrepreneur, and good friend, as scores of Islanders today, as Chris Bajado was laid to rest. The restaurateur, perhaps best known for being the founder and co-owner of Proa Restaurant in Tumon, passed away at the age of 45 last week. St. Anthony's Catholic Church in Tamuning was packed as many paid their last respects to Chris's family, honoring a man who lived life to the fullest and had a wealth of knowledge, experience, passion, and love. Chris is survived by his lovely wife, Cora, and his 3 daughters. Adios, Chris, our friend. We will surely miss you.
Stay tuned. Sports is next.
Catch the finger food craze that's taking over the world. Start with McDonald's delicious shareable chicken McNuggets, 20 for $5.99. And don't forget your favorite sauce. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
It's our biggest sale of the year, and it's happening now at Cars Plus and Mighty. During our massive demo sale, you can save thousands on select 2015 and 2016 Dodges, Chryslers, Jeeps, Rams, Hyundais, and Fiat. All well maintained with low miles and still backed by the manufacturer's warranty. Or shop dozens of quality pre-owned vehicles, all reconditioned and ready for you. See our entire inventory online at CarsPlusGuam.com. It's our massive demo sale going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
When you reserve a party at Chuck E. Cheese's, it's guaranteed to be a blast. 3, 2, 1. Blast off! And now birthdays are more of a blast than ever. Because for a limited time, tickets in the Ticket Blaster are worth double.
Tourism. It's Guam's #1 industry. And if you look around, you'll see how it's working for all of us. The money we make from tourism goes into projects that keep our island beautiful. From all our major roadways to our village streets, from our historic parks to our pools and beaches.
Tourism works.
Tourism works.
Tourism works. Tourism works for me.
Brought to you by GVB. Sidzu's Maasi for making Guam the best place to live, work, and visit.
So what's the next one up? Says it's a Buick. Wow, that doesn't look like a Buick. So your dad let you borrow the
Buick, Mr. Simmons. And it's got a 5-star overall safety rating.
I don't think that's what he's worried about. I bet you haven't seen anything like it.
It's a Buick.
I'm what you'd call an early adopter.
Now get this 2016 Buick Regal starting at $29,995. Visit AutoSpot Buick today for great offers. We are your Buick dealer of Guam.
Day Guam, thanks for joining me on this Friday. Woohoo, Betness! Man, the biggest show ever for you guys tonight. We're going to profile the man who very well could be Guam's best hope for medaling at the Olympics. But first, let's kick it off with our Del Rentone Athlete of the Week. Hey, we're here at Del Rentone, Manila, where you pay cash, you save 50%, right, Mr. Paul?
That's right.
All right. For our Athlete of the Week presentation of this week, our Athlete of the Week, Mr. Brian Afflegui of the class of 2006 Father Duenas Friars. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Mr. Paul over here with a special message for Mr. Brian.
Congratulations, Brian, on your Del Rentone Athlete of the Week. Who would you like to donate this check to, my friend? I would like to donate this to Erica's house because, you know, they go hand in hand with the court system. You know, they help us out a lot regarding parents and, you know, trying to get the kids to be safe on both sides of the end.
You know, those custody issues.
Yes, sir.
All right, now, Mr. Afflegui here, the winning team class of 06 for the Father Duenas alumni tournament. And I mean, since 06, when you guys won the, you know, the IIAG high school basketball championship, I mean, you guys have just been on a roll. Let's talk about the record that 06 has had in this FD alumni tournament.
Well, since we graduated in 06, this is our 10-year reunion and hosting the alumni tournament this year. We won 6 total. At one point in time, we had 4 in a row. And during our senior year in 06, we did win the IIAG championship, boys championship game against St. Paul, which we were the underdogs at the time. And we pulled off that win in overtime.
So let's talk about this year's tournament. You know, I mean, as always, I saw some crazy videos going around the WhatsApp, and, you know, it's always a good time. But at the end of the day, it's very competitive as well, right?
Yes, it gets competitive towards the playoffs, mostly because, you know, everyone wants to get to that semifinal game and then end up in the championship game. And then it's mostly for bragging rights. But at the end of the day, it's more of a brotherhood. Everyone gets together, have some good food, drink a little bit.
Are you sure about that little bit part?
You know, drink responsibly. Make sure your brothers don't drive home drunk.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's just a good time. Family, friends, everyone comes around. They look forward to it every year. And for us to host this year, our 10-year, it was really something special for us, even winning it. So we knew what we had to do.
Congratulations again to Mr. Brian, our Athlete of the Week here, and a shout out to all the Friars alumni out there. And from Del Rentone to Manila, where you pay cash, you save 50%. My name's Chris Barnett.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by
Ben Schultz, representing Team Guam in the 100-meter breaststroke at this year's Summer Olympic Games in Rio. Ben holds 5 individual records at Bryan University in Rhode Island and is part of 4 school records at the Division I swimming program, making him a dark horse candidate to do something big for Guam at the Summer Games.
So I finished my school year over at Bryan back in the middle of May, and I came back here to Australia, and I'm currently training with Graham McDonald at Somerset Swim Club here on the Gold Coast. And he's great. He's been helping me with these last 3 months of training, and I'm feeling really strong right now, and I'm ready to race.
Well, Schultz recently won a silver medal in the 100-meter breaststroke and a gold in the 50-meter breaststroke at the 2016 Oceania Swimming Championships held in Fiji.
I'm honestly just looking for best time, like at the Pacific Games in Papua New Guinea last year. I cut a whole second and a half off my old best time, which never happens in swimming. That's insane. That's an insane amount of, and I really surprised myself. And it just goes to show that I can do something like that. So this past year, I've been training extremely hard. So hopefully I can experience something like that again in Rio.
While attending Bryan, Schultz won 6 gold medals at the conference finals over the last 2 years, and as a freshman, he was the conference swimmer of the meet.
I am ranked towards the bottom of the list for this game, so there's still a lot of work to do before I get to the top. But come time for Tokyo, I hope these next 4 years does me well. I'm planning on training really hard for Tokyo Olympics.
When asked about the Zika virus, Ben says he's not too worried about the mosquitoes, but more focused on the competition at hand.
I've heard a lot about it, that it's transmitted through mosquito bites. I'm not really concerned about it, though. Like, I've got, like, a bunch of insect repellents and stuff, and I'm going to wear long sleeves and, like, long pants and stuff to keep mosquitoes away, but for the most part, I'm not really concerned about it.
Women's volleyball, Guam All-Stars fell to the PI All-Stars in 3 straight sets last night at the OG Calvo Fieldhouse. The friendly match, part of week-long events the team from the Philippines has been a part of. There'll be a beach exhibition match tonight at Gun Beach with local players taking on the ladies from the PI. Then on Saturday, women's and men's beach volleyball tournament, Tyson Hockey International, taking place from 9 to 6 p.m., sponsored by Tetrad, Vanguardia, and Cebu Pacific. All right, Guam. Hey, you guys have a great weekend. Okay, my name's Chris Barnett. Adios.
The island boy, they gotta be so shy. Say the island girl know how to have a good time. Said a cruise with me, baby, I'll be a pretty lady. Said a cruise with me, baby, I'll be a pretty lady. By that good life, let me show you a good time. Let me show you one.
These used cars are Nissan certified, and let me show you why I stand behind every used car that we sell. First, our certified technicians inspect every used car to make sure it's safe, reliable, and mechanically sound. Then any scratches and dings are given first-class treatment at our body shop. And after thorough detailing inside and out, the car is ready for sale. At a price that's always below Blue Book. That makes Nissan used cars your best buy.
People love my portobello mushroom buttery jack, made with portobello mushrooms, grilled onions, and garlic herb butter. Ever wonder how I came up with it? Well, actually, I came up with it at the water cooler, but I thought you'd like this cowboy story better. The Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack is back. Part of the Buttery Jack family. Taste it before it's gone.
While hundreds of homeless seek shelter every day, when memories fade like old photographs, and families struggle to care for loved ones with special needs, as young children are caught in the storm of abuse and neglect, we are there. For over 30 years, we have helped Guam's victims of life when there was nowhere else to turn. You can help too by giving $1 a month. God bless you.
It is time for our end of the week Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. So here are your Friday birthday babies. Happy first birthday to Matt and Anthony Aquino, Your family says, God bless and we love you always, specifically from Mama and Papa.
Happy birthday going out to Margaret Santos with love from your sister Chai.
Uncle Ray celebrates birthday number 93 today. His family says, we only wish that your good health and excellent memory could be contagious. Lots of love from your birthday club.
Happy birthday to Alexander Guzman from San Diego. Love and miss you, Nina, Nino, and family.
Happy birthday to Miranda Burkhart Vaccaro. Happy 6th birthday specifically from your grandparents, Richard and Rosa Linda Burkhart. I also went to school with her mother.
Happy belated birthday going out to Sean Santos.
And happy belated birthday to Rana Augustine.
Happy 5th belated birthday going out to Isaiah Thomas Sanchez Reyes.
All right, our favorite part of the show is always reading the birthday club recipients. Plus, the best part of that is somebody can win an ice cream cake. And the winner of this week's Cold Stone Creamery delicious dessert is Kaylee Rose Cruz. Her birthday was on Saturday. So happy birthday, Kaylee. Once again, an extended. All right, please stay tuned, everybody. We are going to end this work week by getting into Fiesta Friday. I'm going to go over there and host the show. See you in a bit.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Happy day, everybody, and welcome to Fiesta Friday. As always, I'm Jason Salas, and we're very, very happy that you tuned in. Coming up with the show tonight, we are going to talk to our friends from Remax Diamond Realty Guam, telling you about VA loans. Plus, we're going to visit with our friends from the Small Business Development Center, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But first, we are bringing in some new friends from Gipago, some very good friends of mine. Here we have Fuuna Sands and Brandon Fujikawa. And let me get, are you guys necessarily instructors for the program, or are you guys kind of like, what rank are you in that?
I'm like the highest ranking female. So all the other girls look up to me for direction.
Yeah, and I'm the Magalai, the highest ranking male.
So the Magalahi and the Magahaga?
Yeah.
Excellent. But of course, like Vince Regis is, is the man, basically.
Yes.
He's the man.
Okay, well, how long have you guys been involved with the organization?
I've been in it since 7th grade, and I'm 22 now, so about 11 years.
Wow. What has it meant to you to be able to exhibit, Guam's culture and be able to produce a positive message for people?
It really means a lot to me. Like, I feel like I wouldn't be where I'm at now without this group, and Vince Regis has really shown me the world, literally.
He's a really great guy. How about you, Brandon?
Since I was 8th grade, so about 9 years now. Yeah.
Wow.
And this group has formed me to make me become the man I am today, and Mr. Regis has been there for me, and he's just shown me the world, and for me to show the world, that us Chamorros on this tiny island, we're just as good as them, we're all equal in this world.
And that's a perfect segue, because speaking of seeing the world, you guys are heading off to Brazil.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very, very soon. Is it a festival or is it a?
It's a festival.
Okay.
Yes, that we're attending.
Okay, and you guys are going to be exhibiting, obviously, like your dance routines, I guess, and then you'll also be observing countries, I would assume, from all over the world.
Yeah.
Exchanging culture.
It's like a fest pack, but international.
And in Brazil.
Yeah, very cool.
Brazil,
yeah.
Do you know what parts of the world are participating? Because obviously you're going to be in that part of the world, so South America, Latin America.
Europe and Asia are usually there. There's always a Taiwanese group. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's a bunch of groups around the world.
Well, what does that mean when, FestPack, we exhibit our culture and there are a lot of similarities between our brothers and sisters in the Pacific, but now you're actually seeing people throughout the globe.
Yeah. So it's actually funny because we can barely communicate, but when we dance, we can all dance together.
The universal language.
Yeah, so we teach each other our dances, and that's our way of communicating.
What have you guys done to prepare?
Had rehearsals and workshops for our props and everything, and just a lot of rehearsing time.
And when do you guys leave? Because I'm thinking the Olympics is coming up, so that country is going to be it's a huge piece of land, but it might be a little bit crowded, I would assume.
Yeah, next Saturday actually. And the Olympics start on Friday before we leave.
Yeah, we're gonna be watching a basketball game.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna watch Team USA?
Yeah, or I'm
we
not
don't
too
know
sure.
yet what team.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that we're watching an Olympic game is
Okay, tell you what, Brandon, I'll give you a Post-it on the way out and everything like that. If you can get LeBron's signature and everything like that, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, well, the last time I saw you guys, in person and saw you guys perform, I was covering the Molesto Fiesta
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Crab Fest. And you know, I got to tell you, you guys, once you guys started performing, everybody at the Fiesta, there were hundreds of people there, all eyes were on you. I mean, you guys put on such a performance with, you know, so much energy and so much cultural pride, and you know, and you guys all have smiles on your faces and everything like that. What does it mean to you to actually see people, you know, light up and be proud to be Guamanian?
That show was hard.
It was hot, right?
Yeah, it was super hot, and the grass was hot, so we had to keep moving our feet so it doesn't. But just like being with them, or like showing them and getting their attention, is, you know, that's what a performer.
Like knowing that our own people are enjoying our performance.
And you know, giving back to our own people, it feels good, you know. And that's what keeps us going. Well,
like you said, Luna, when you guys, you know, you communicate with other dancers throughout the world, you know, by way of dance, and you know, like they say in Hawaii, hula is telling stories with your hands. How would you describe Chamorro dance to people like who've never heard of Guam, never even been here?
Well, usually we describe what the main points of the dance are, which is usually our legends. It's always based on all our legends, like Magalahi, Creation, Serena. So that's how we explain it. Like we would tell them, you know, like we're doing movements of the ocean to show Serena's a mermaid, like that.
Yeah.
And even our costumes tell a lot, because you have us in like our grass skirts, and you know, they're like half naked, and then we have someone who's decked out in like long sleeve and boots, and it's like they're really hot, and we're just, you know, we're cool because we're not sweating like them. So just even by their costumes, you can tell, okay, they come from a place that's like snowing and it's cold a lot.
Well, everybody in Netgungipago has always been like really, really good cultural ambassadors, because I know people come up to you, you know, military folks who just moved here, little kids, you know, and they say, you know, can you tell me, you know, explain what you guys just did? You know, what's the story behind your dance? And you guys are so gracious, and you guys take time for everybody. And you guys are very humble, obviously. Let's not brag, but you know, we know, you know. Okay, well, you guys leave again on Saturday?
Yeah, August 6th.
Okay, well, we wish you the very best, and you know, we know you guys are going to represent us well, and you know, we're very proud of what you guys did, so have a great time.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, everybody, make sure to check out Netgungipago's page. You will be able to put the links on our Facebook channel so you can see everything they do, check out their pictures, their past performances, everything, and we will be back right after this.
Real people, steel people. From heroes to homeowners, they choose steel for power, service, and value. Right now, hardworking steel blowers start at just $159.95. And introducing the BR450 CEF Backpack Blower, the world's only backpack blower with electronic start. Start and stop with a flip of a switch. Find your steel dealer at steeldealers.com or search STIHL.
Watch the waves crash over bare feet as you stand back and feel the sun's heat radiating upon your face today. Summer's alive, that's why we feel this way. That's why we feel this way. Summertime in the summer heat, grab a love and move your feet. We gon' make it hot for you, hot for you. Summer breeze in the summer nights, so I never felt so alive. We gon' make it hot for you, hot for you. Summertime in the island heat, grab a love and move your feet. We gon' make it hot for you, hot.
Join us at the Guam Summer Beach Fest for live entertainment, food, and fun. For event details, check out visitguam.com. This is a GBB signature event.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want, so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D, life in motion.
House to Home, brought to you by Remax Diamond Realty.
Hello and half a day, everybody. I'm Jason Salas here with my good friend Liz Duenas, and we are on location for this week's installment of House to Home. Liz, of course, from Remax Diamond Realty Guam. And Liz, we are once again in the very friendly confines of Bank Pacific in Hagåtña.
That's right. We're here to talk about VA loans. Practically half our island are military. So it'd be great for them to learn about how they can purchase their homes.
Yeah, now I'm particularly interested in learning exactly as far as the financing and, like as far as, approval process, what actually constitutes a veteran, and then what kind of benefits there are for people that are VA
That's
qualified.
Right. So we've got a loan expert that we're going to go meet in a few minutes, Therese Camacho. So she's going to tell us how this whole process works.
Our good friend Therese, of course, remember she was telling you how to get a home the last time. So, I'm ready. I'm excited.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Hi, we're here with Therese Camacho at Bank Pacific, and today we're going to talk about VA loans. Therese, we have practically half the island that are military personnel, either reservists, active duty. Many of them have been deployed. So we've got definitely a very patriotic island.
Correct.
And we'd like to help our audience learn more about VA loans, what the requirements are. Now, I know that our veterans, please let the audience know what are the requirements. How many years do they have to serve in order to have the VA loan available to them?
Okay, with regards to active duty members, so long as they're active duty and they're in either branches of the service, Navy, Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, and they have been employed in that position for at least 2 years, and they have been active duty, they'll be able to get a VA loan through Bank Pacific. If you were a reservist, whether in Army National Guard, Army Reserves, and you were strictly just doing that and never been deployed, you'd have to have at least 6 good years of service that would equate to 6 good years of retirement points. And you'll be able to get that information from whomever handles their personnel office at the Guard station. If you were in the service and served previously active duty and then got out, which a lot of our folks here are, they served their minimum 4 years in the Army, the Air Force, the Reserves, or the Marines, and got out as a military previously served and have a good record and basically can get a VA loan through that as well. Then, of course, people that have retired from the military, if they have retired, they're able to get a VA loan through us as well.
Well, we do get a lot of active duty military personnel that come in and they feel that it's better to buy versus rent. And then we've got the military personnel here. Many of our locals have been deployed. Now, I know we've had people come into our office saying they want to buy. Their income has been increased because they're active duty and they're being deployed for, let's say, a year's time.
Correct.
Can they still get the loan based on the higher qualification, based on the higher income that they're getting?
Yeah. Normally with the guardsmen or the reservists, they get deployed to a forwarding area for at least 18 months. Once that deployment stops, then that income stops. So we're not able to utilize that income for qualification. So if they were employed with another employer prior to being deployed, we can take the income that they've been generating with their prior employer and use that to qualify, because once they come back from deployment, they'll be back to their regular job. And that's what we can use to qualify them, because that income with deployment is going to stop after 18 months. And they will no longer be making that higher income with regards to their base, housing allowances and things of that nature that are paid to them when they're deployed.
Now, one of the things, sometimes it's a misconception that when they come in and they're getting a VA loan, of course, it's a benefit given by the federal government, but sometimes they think that they could come in and not have to pay any fees. So there are fees associated with a VA loan.
Correct. The misconception with our VA loan program is that it's 100% financing, which means the bank will be able to finance 100% of the purchase price plus the VA funding fee. And that VA funding fee is the fee that VA charges so that they can continue this program and offer this guaranteed VA loan program to all our veterans out there. So basically what happens is the veteran will need to come up with closing costs. Closing costs are fees that the bank charges to originate the loan, such as your loan origination fees, your VA discount fees, escrow closing fees, which are normally paid by the seller. We need to ensure that they have 1-year insurance to cover fire, typhoon, and earthquake, as well as owner's title insurance that the veteran can opt to purchase as well. So when you look at that picture, that's the portion that the veteran cannot pay for. They don't have to come up with a down payment. Normally, a down payment can consist of 3%, 5%, 10%, 20%. So the veteran doesn't have to save up their closing costs plus their down payment because we can finance 100%. Now, with the closing expenses that the veteran is expected to pay, that can come from seller credits, if that's agreed upon between two parties. It can come via the Guam Housing Grant because Guam Housing does offer a program to first-time home buyers with a loan amount a purchase price not to exceed $250,000. So they can approach Guam Housing and try to get information on that because they need to get approval on that side. But that's normally like 4% of the purchase price.
Now, if you have someone that's already retired, they're living on Guam, they've got some income coming in from retirement, you could use that to qualify them for a loan, correct?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay.
And that income will be used to qualify them for the VA loan. And they can use that to purchase if they don't already own, or a retired veteran that's wanting to refinance their home, utilizing the VA loan program. They have that option, and that's 100% financed.
So do you offer the refinancing for veterans out there that currently have a home?
Yes, we do.
You do offer that program.
We do. And a lot of people think that they cannot use their VA loan to refinance their existing mortgages and maybe do some home improvements or pay off some other debt. We are able to utilize the VA program to do a refinance cash out to qualified veterans, yes.
Oh, that's wonderful because we do, like I said, half the island are military personnel and have served our country very well.
Right.
So this is a lot of great information. Now, based on that, you folks finance a lot of the VA loans here.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
You know, this refinancing, this is something new. I haven't even recommended that to any of our clients. Now that it's information you provided and you've processed a bunch of them, then we can definitely refer them to Bank Pacific.
Definitely. And a lot of times they can draw equity from their existing homes, maybe to invest in other properties that they're looking at as well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So what else do you have to offer VA? What advice do you have for our audience regarding VA loans?
Basically, you can walk into our office here at Saginaw Mazal, and you'll be able to get pre-qualified with one of our loan officers. And all you would need to bring in is your current income statement, such as pay stubs or LESs, your last 2 years' tax returns, and a list of your debts, whether it be auto loans, personal loans, or credit card debt if you're looking at buying. If you're looking at refinancing your home and to get into a VA loan, what bank has the mortgage on your property, the balance, and they will be able to work in the maximum loan amount that your income can support to get this VA loan.
Well, thank you, Therese. This is definitely helpful information. I learned something new today.
Definitely.
Refinance, guys. Give her a call.
Definitely. Thank you. This is Masi.
Okay, we are going to wrap up here. Thanks so much to Therese Camacho for the excellent information for veterans. And speaking of veterans, everybody, we want to introduce you to a veteran of Bank Pacific here in Hinagania. This is Gilbert. And Gilbert is 10 years old. He is one of the signature 2 parents that they have here. It's a wonderful facility. So come on down, and when you apply for a home loan, just marvel at the wonderful offices. They're absolutely beautiful, Liz.
Beautiful.
And it looks like you made a new friend here.
Yes.
Well, it seems the quickest way to someone's heart is, of course, through their stomach, and that extends to all members of the animal kingdom. And, you know, probably, Liz, as you've been educating us, the quickest way to actually get a home that you can call your own is to come down here and talk to the friendly folks at Bank Pacific.
Yes.
All right. Whoops, Gilbert, you dropped a little.
He's definitely enjoying that.
All right. So thank you so much. Thank you, Gilbert.
Thank you.
Gilbert, do you have a business card that you can possibly give us? You have an email address or, you know, Facebook page? And, okay, we'll get that for you. We'll put it on YouTube.
He's preoccupied.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for the information again. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. See you next time, everybody.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that and I've replaced them with the white fillings and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
Ruby Tuesday now gives you more for lunch. Endless trips to the fresh garden bar, plus add-ons, mini combinations, and even new meal options. It's the new lunchtime menu, available Monday to Friday until 2 p.m., only at Ruby Tuesday.
It's our biggest sale of the year, and it's happening now at Cars Plus and Mighty. During our massive demo sale, you can save thousands on select 2015 and 2016 Dodges, Chryslers, Jeeps, Rams, Hyundais, and Fiat. All well maintained with low miles and still backed by the manufacturer's warranty. Or shop dozens of quality pre-owned vehicles, all reconditioned and ready for you. See our entire inventory online at carsplusguam.com. It's our massive demo sale going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. You know, it is truly Christmas in July when you have Denise Mendiola in studio talking about small business development, investment, evolvement, and everything. Basically just being a good business person.
Thank you.
So we're happy to have you here, obviously, like once again. And you're talking about a interesting topic tonight that I think a lot of people kind of misinterpret, but we're talking about microcredit and an event coming up about that.
Yes, microcredit. Thanks, Jason, for having me. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Okay,
I hope your parking space up front was like properly cleaned.
Yes, thank you. It looks perfect.
All right.
So at the Yoji Guam Small Business Development Center, we are conducting a 12-week microcredit training program, and it's completely free. This time it's different. It's designed for people with disabilities who want to explore self-employment. So that means they want to start a business and maybe they're not sure how to get started. Maybe they don't have funds in order to get started. So we put them through this training program that introduces them to business. You know, so if you have a skill, you have a great idea maybe, and you're just not sure if it's going to work, then you come over to the center. We put you through the 12 weeks of Wednesdays, and then you learn everything from personal finance to how to write a business plan to, you know, how do I price my products, things like that.
Which is not by definition rocket science, but it's a lot harder than people probably give it, you know, credit for or microcredit for.
Yeah, I think the hardest part from what our clients say is just getting started. They have this great idea, they just don't know how to implement it. And so what they like is to be able to have that guidance, somebody that coaches them through, maybe giving them some ideas of how other people have done it and looking at their situation. And again, we're talking about people with disabilities that have certain barriers to enter. So what we do is we work with the skills that they have, and considering the barriers that they have, we talk to maybe resource partners like DISID, DVR. We have CEDARS at UOG, GSAT, the Guam Assistive Technology Program. So those all can come into the picture and basically wrap around that person so that we can assist them to be able to get started.
Now, if I were a smart man, and I certainly am not, I would try and break down.
You are so smart.
Oh, well, and you lie like a rug. So thank you, though. I would try and break, the etymology of microcredit. Does this mean it's credit with a very finite limit? You can't apply for, like, say, $250,000, loan and everything like that. There is a very distinct ceiling to it. Is that what microcredit means?
That's exactly what it is. So the idea is that traditional banks don't give you $100 to start a business. That's just not how it works. So microcredit, in the sense, is it bridges the gap between you getting $500 and then going to the bank when you're bankable to be able to borrow $5,000. So Pacific Islands Microcredit Institute is a nonprofit organization that we started out at the university. And so now what that organization provides are microloans. So the people that graduate from this program automatically qualify for these microloans. So it gives them an opportunity to get $500 to buy, say, a piece of equipment, like maybe a sewing machine or, a used bush cutter or something like that, and then they can at least get started.
Because most people, like on Guam, they're starting this out, they're happy to be small businesses and to have like a little bit of a manageable schedule, and they're not looking to be Fortune 500 corporations like within the next 2 years, and they don't need like a $25 million Series A round of funding.
No, they don't need investors, and they don't need to go public offerings. They don't need to do that. They just need to be able to pay their bills and feed their family. And so at the very simplistic sense, these people will make a couple $100 maybe a week, and that helps them to pay some bills, hopefully get them out of subsidy programs, and then it builds up their credit so that they can eventually become bankable if they do decide to get a loan later on.
So the theory, correct me if I'm understanding this right, but the theory is smaller amounts of loans that you can build upon, smaller amounts of debt that you can hopefully pay back easier, and then more managed growth, instead of saying I'm going to bet the farm and let's try and make this work, and then if it doesn't, we have to declare Chapter 13 and go through a whole
exactly.
Okay.
So the risk is not high, and it's like the ladder strategy. So you build it as you go, and so what they do is they keep building their assets, and then keep going until it's to the point where they actually become a regular business.
Well, this is fantastic, and even though we're dealing with microcredit, I'm major in. So how can we participate? How can we avail of this knowledge?
Best thing to do is to call our office at 735-2590. Best way to find us. Then they can also register online at pacificsbdc.com.
And at the very least, the invaluable thing is they get to meet you and
bonus.
Get advice from you and everything like that. And
actually, my clients hate me, but I'm just joking.
That's a great attitude to have. No, she is wonderful, ladies and gentlemen.
They're like the Jillian of business startups. You tell them the way it is, but it gives them a better understanding before they actually throw themselves into the water.
Well, and your experience and your knowledge in this this domain is certainly going to help people that are just getting started. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we'll see you there.
Okay.
And that is going to do it, everybody. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.